Hi, and welcome to Patents TV. I'm your host, Jenna Falbush. Today, I have Jim Fortman in the studio with me, and he is from Vision Aid Systems, our March featured solution. So thanks for being here today, Jim. It's nice to have you here. Tell me about all this wonderful low vision tech that you brought with you today.
I sure will. It's since it is usually school systems, I kind of geared it towards more portable or transportable devices. For true portability, I guess you have to have something that operates off of a rechargeable battery. That's so you don't have to plug it in. So if it's okay, I'll just start with the smallest ones that very popular in the schools that students can fit it in their pocket or their backpack or their book pack or whatever they need. I'll just start with this little guy here. This one's called the Pebble. This one is high definition. You can see you just pick it up, very lightweight, very thin. It collapses down like that, so if you don't want to use the handle. But it is a nice device that electronically magnifies the print that you put over it. So we can magnify from 2x up to about 14 times. And this is high definition. And there is a little select button called the mode button. And I'll mention it on this one, and we'll probably do it on the other ones, but every one of these devices has the same feature as yellow letters or green letters or blue letters on a black background. And I think the engineers get a little carried away sometimes out in California, but it is nice that the student has those choices, whatever color that they see best. Or if they just like it in plain color, that's fine too. But this is the new stand that just came out. It makes it a very nice addition to the Pebble. So I can set it over when I want to read, and it just slides across very easily. And it's at a little bit of an angle, so the student doesn't have to lean over it if they're sitting at a desk. The other thing that's nice designed on this is this handle. Very clever that they put it so that I can turn that handle up like that. And what that does is we can set it down like that now. And now look, it's hands-free. So if I wanted to put my hands behind there to take out a splinter, or in this, for a student, they could also put their pen back there. And like if you can see the tip of my pen on the screen, they can maybe make notes with it and so forth. It's also perfectly balanced. So if I put it right on the edge of a table like I did here, you could also get your hands underneath the front of it and do hands-free work. So that's the Pebble. And with the school discount and stuff, it's right at about $500. So it's very affordable. But it just has a plus and a minus button, and that does just what you think, makes it bigger or smaller on the text. And this is the mode button that changes to the different colors. Now it also has a feature where you can take a little snapshot. So if you're looking up a phone number or an assignment or something like that, it freezes on there until I hit that button and it goes away. And then if you wanted to save it on there permanently, I would just hold that button for about 5 seconds and it would be saved permanently on here. Just a little bit bigger screen, it's called the Amigo HD. And that's this one here. And the way it works is it's just a bigger screen. It's a 7-inch screen, and it has a little collapsible stand. So then you just place over what you want to read, and you're just going to move this, just like you were moving the Pebble. Same thing again. It's got a plus and a minus, so you can make it bigger or smaller. It's got the mode button, so if you want, the different color letters, you've got the option to do all that. And then this little button here will actually kind of recall what's saved on there. And I had already pre-saved one, so it's kind of like it was in my store, and it was just up on the wall, but that could have been a blackboard. When you get to the one that you like, you can just bring it up on the screen. So, and then what's neat about this is I can magnify once I have taken the snapshot, a small snapshot. So this could be like the picture of the whole blackboard. And then the student, of course, may need a lot more magnification like I just did. Well, then this little white button, it becomes a pointer mouse. So if I make it bigger, you're not seeing the whole page at one time. So look, I can scan across the page with this. So if the student needs more magnification, then I can take a picture of it, bring it up on the screen, magnify it, and then scan up and down, right and left, whatever you want. This has been very popular for years. This is the Acrobat. This is particular one I brought right here is the Acrobat Mini. And it's just called the Mini because obviously it's a small screen. We also make it in a 20, 22, and a 24-inch screen, but they're not portable. This one actually has a battery pack built right into it. So it lasts about 5 hours, and look, anybody could pick that up, carry it with them from class to class. And then what they do is you just simply place what you want to read underneath the machine. This is the camera. It looks down there, and then it does come with a remote control. The neat thing about this is the controls are built right onto the camera. So this camera will look down like it's doing, so the student has plenty of room to look at their textbooks, or if they put a test down there, you probably noticed how easily that you could probably get your pen underneath there if you wanted to make a note or do a test or something like that. And then this camera will also look in the distance, which I'll show you on this one, how the distance thing works. But you just simply flip the camera up that way and it looks in the distance. And then, this camera will kind of flip around whatever angle you want it. So if you're looking at a blackboard and the back of the student head in front of you is in the way, you can kind of move that camera to get around there. So they can look at the blackboard, they can look at a PowerPoint presentation, they can look at all their tests, their books, they can make notes and things like that. Then that's called the Acrobat Mini. Here's another one. This one is called the DaVinci, and I happen to bring the brand new one that we just got out called the DaVinci Pro. The highest resolution camera you can get as of right now. But again, you just put what you want to read down here. Does the same things like I showed you on the Acrobat Mini. So look, the student could put their pen down underneath there and take a test or make their own notes or whatever they want to do. Then you just move the paper underneath there as you want more words to be read. And then it comes with this controller pad right here. And this turning knob right here simply makes the print
Zoom 9.
Bigger or smaller.
Zoom 8.
And it talks, but I don't think many teachers are going to like that, so we can turn that talking off if it's a distraction. But for demonstration purposes, it's kind of neat. So far, we've just been showing you everything with low vision students. But it could be that they need something read to them, which is called optical character recognition. That sounds fancy, but we'll just call it OCR for short. But on this device right here, the DaVinci Pro, it actually has a 14 megapixel camera built in right here. So when I hit this little center button right here.
OCR mode. Please align your document inside the frame.
If you didn't hear that, it just said, please align your document inside the frame, and you saw it put the frame up on the screen. Whatever they put in there, this device is going to read. Now, what I really love about this is it's very simple. They've got two modes on this, the simplistic mode, which is what it's in right now, and then I'll show you the other one, just take a second. But there's no training. All you have to do is push that button right there, and you heard it kind of took like a snapshot.
Processing.
So it sounds like the old 35 millimeter camera, and then it's just going to be processing what we put down there, and it's going to read it back.
C41, C4, Feed Pro, LIID, Full HD CCT.
So now it's reading this right now back to us.
Full HD video magnifier and full page text-to-speech. Date status. Sony registered sign. Full HD 1080p camera.
Now when it's in the simple mode,
Crystal clear image.
if I want to talk, I just can pull that lever down and it pauses it, and I just push it away, it starts it back up. But it's kind of nice to show you that I did a brochure like this, or it could be a textbook. It ignores all the pictures, and this one is very good, the best in the world that I've seen at kind of reading what you want it to read. So it'll probably read this page almost perfect, which a lot of OCR devices don't do. Then all we have to do is hit that center button again.
Live mode.
And it says live mode, which means we're back literally in a live mode, so you can read it with your own eyes, do what you need to do. The nice thing about this, there's so much clearance between this camera and down there that you could do art classes, you could do crafts underneath there, you could do biology things. But the other thing I was going to show you, which I barely showed you on that one, was I just flipped that little close focus lens out of the way, and then we can flip this up so a student could...
Far.
Huh, what are the odds? That's my company back there on the wall, but anyway, it's looking probably about 15 or 20 feet away, but it could be, first time I was showing this to a gentleman, we looked at a car that was parked a quarter of a mile away, and he could read the license plate from a quarter of a mile away. So it goes up to about 28 times magnification.
Zoom 13, Zoom 14.
So you can see how big we're making that. But that could be a blackboard, you could be at a PowerPoint presentation, and anything that you want to look in the distance. Then you just flip it back down.
Desktop.
It says desktop, which means you're back down here to your live camera again. This also has a little plug. If space is of consideration, there's a little jack in the back for your computer monitor. So you could use this screen as your computer monitor, and all you would simply do is hit these two switches and it jumps between, just toggles between the computer output and what we're viewing down here. And then lastly, again, if you want to, there is just a few more navigation buttons, which you don't have to, but if they want to get a little bit more involved. And all this does allows you to navigate a little better. So it's kind of like a tape recorder, basically. It's got a pause and a play. It's got a rewind one line at a time, fast forward one line at a time. Or if you hold it, it goes to the top of the page. Or if you hold it, it goes to the bottom of the page. And now instead of hitting that button, we just hit that one, and that starts the scanning process if you're in the reading mode. And these two buttons here at the bottom are kind of neat because they will save up to like 40 pages if you wanted to save the text. We can actually go into what's called the book mode on this. The student could actually, if somebody takes the time to do it, they can scan their entire textbook right into this device. So they could have their U.S. history textbook completely on this device, and they can go to page 368 or 269 or whatever they want once it's all saved in the book mode. So that's what those two buttons do. One saves, one recalls. Again, if it's younger students and you don't want them getting more involved, you can put that cover on and it's just starts the reading, pauses the reading, plays the reading. So it's very simple. And then lastly, I've got another product. This little guy's pretty cool. This is called the Transformer. Kind of a neat name. The kids love the Transformers. I think they still like the Transformers, but it just folds up like this, so it's not much bigger than an umbrella. They can put it in their backpack or whatever they're carrying. Then it just opens up like this. And then it just sets down. And I didn't plug this in, but it will plug into any laptop, any MacBook, any IBM compatible desktop, things like that. Or if you want to use it just as a CCTV, electronic magnifier, it'll plug into just a monitor. But if and when it is plugged into a laptop or a MacBook, then it does a lot more stuff. But it's got the same type of camera that will flip up and look in the distance, self-view, and then for reading and writing underneath here. I could point that at the blackboard and do the same thing and save it as a JPEG format, so it could save the math problem or all your texts and things that might be up on a screen, and it actually saves it onto your computer. So when you go home, you can bring up all the things that you saved during the day with this and then study it at home on your computer. And then once it's on the computer, kind of like the Amigo did, you can magnify it, make white letters on a black background, so you can manipulate the text once you're inside of it. That's called the Transformer. And that's about all I've got for today. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jenna.
You've shown us some great assistive technology. We're happy to have you.
Oh, good.
And don't miss Jim at the Patents Tech Expo on April 14th, along with lots of other vendors and goodies. So we hope to see you there and back for our next episode of Patents TV. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Jenna.